Hello, it's been about a month since we've updated you all on what's been happening on our little homestead here with our new chicken adventure. You can tell we've added a second coop. If you haven't been following us, we added another set of 8 birds about a month ago at the end of September, and we had a really tragic loss probably about 3 weeks ago. We had 2 Easter eggers and one of our Rhode Island Reds got attacked by a predator while we were away for a few hours, and it was just devastating. And Donnie and I learned a little bit about where our weak holes were in our run, and that just gave them a door in, and thankfully our other 5 birds were able to escape. But the next day we went out and had to buy some new baby chicks so that those of you who have already been put on our waiting list for eggs will have some beautiful colored eggs in the springtime and summertime. So we are currently raising them right now in our dining room again with baby chicks. So my husband and I are working on repairing our barn so we can get them outside. I don't recommend raising baby chicks in your kitchen or in your house. It definitely stirs up everybody's allergies, so we've all got a little bit of a runny nose right now. But as quick as we can get them out here, it's brand new to us with this winter brooding. So we've done quite a bit of research and found a lot of people who really love doing that because it gets the birds prime and ready to lay in the warmer months right when they're ready to get going, rather than having them hit their laying time right in the winter when it's time to shut down. So we're hoping this works out too in a natural way for them. But I wanted to give you an update on this coffee grounds bedding if you're interested in doing that with your chickens. I told you that we were switching over to that. I have had really bad allergies to straw and pine chips and things, which is all the typical bedding that's normally used for chickens. And so we decided to try this brand of coffee ground bedding that Rural King sells, and it's 100% brewed coffee ground, so they're recycled. They've been triple brewed, and we did a lot of research on that, and apparently they brew it until all the caffeine has been removed, so it's just safe bedding for chickens and ducks and turkeys. And it's supposed to be dust free. So we tried that out, and after about a month, I figured out that it matters what chicken is on that coffee ground bedding, because we have the country chicks that we have raised, and then we have the city chicks which we have purchased. And the city chicks are by far way more cleaner, and they don't get in and eat their poop and all that kind of grossness and make it really hard to clean. The country chicks do. So coop 1 has a lot harder time keeping their coops clean. And I got one little lady coming to visit me right now. So you can see I just cleaned this out, and there's lots of little bits and pieces all around. They have straw that's been in their nesting boxes, which they have managed to pull out, and there's little bits all in this coffee ground bedding, but it's essentially like kitty litter. So let me grab my little scoop here. So when you scoop it up, I just rake everything up with a rake, and then I use a kitty litter scoop and just kind of shake out everything until the matter comes out, and then I just put it in a 5-gallon bucket and we dump it in our compost. And the coffee grounds are 100% compostable and recyclable, so we can use that in our garden and everything. So we got another couple. Every time I clean the coop, they all want to come in here, and so they're not afraid of the rake anymore, and they will come in and I'll be standing around while I'm trying to rake all this out, which has been quite interesting. Let's see who all shows up. Hi, ladies. So these little ladies do not have names, but they are so friendly, and they always want to know what's going on and what to do. And it's funny, even though they don't have straw currently in their nesting boxes, I've got one in there right now at the very end, and it's about time for her to lay, so she's gonna go in there, and maybe we'll get an egg in a few minutes, which would be kind of cool. But they absolutely love being in here and being right up next to me while I'm working, which is so much fun. But you can see they tend to pick and scratch through this. The other birds in coop 2 don't do that. So that's been a little bit of a different challenge with this particular group. All right, I'm gonna close your door. We will not let them out. So the other coop, I have heard that sometimes people use pine chips and shredded straw and some other, you know, brown matter mixed with the coffee grounds in order to do sort of like a deep litter method, which we have never figured out how to do that without having massive amounts of flies, and the stink is so bad. And so right now with the coffee grounds by themselves, the whole coop and everything outside of it smells like coffee, which is a lot better than smelling poop all the time. So coop 1, which is my country birds, they I think I've added 1 shovel full of the coffee grounds back into their coop to get it refreshed. They had the stinkiest coop, but this coop 2 has only 5 birds in it right now since we lost those 3. And you can tell their bedding is a lot cleaner and a lot nicer. They usually sleep on these roosting bars at night, so we have 1 row of poop. And I just shovel that out with the kitty litter, with a scooper, kitty litter scooper. And I try to clean these out maybe every other day, just so it doesn't pile up on me. But if you're doing the deep litter method, we've heard that you can mix it all the bedding together and you don't have to clean out till the spring. So with me having allergies to some of these other things, this I felt like was the best way to do it for now, while we're trying to figure out which bedding to use and what's going to work for me. And I do have some back issues from time to time, and this past week has been really hard on my back, and so it's been really great to just have everything elevated to waist height, and then I can just rake it out towards me and never have to bend over and scoop all this out. So we've been trying to design the coops and anything we're doing with this homestead with the mentality of my 80-year-old mother-in-law who passed away last year. And if it would have been really hard to do it for her, then we need to find a way to make it where we could do it when we were her age. So that's kind of been our goal here as we've been trying to move about building things and creating things. And so far this coop has worked out really good because it keeps me up off the ground and I'm not on my hands and knees trying to clean stuff or shovel stuff, things like that. So that's been really great. Another adventure we have had is that our rooster Joshua was rehomed yesterday. He was very much ready to breed with all the ladies, and we did not have enough hens in his coop to be able to do that, to allow him to stay here and do that. Prince Charming is our rooster here, and let's see if I can get down here and you can see him. There he is, handsome man. So Prince Charming is currently the leader of this group of ladies, and he and Joshua had already started competing for attention and for the girls, and so it was time to find him a new home. And so I found a lady thanks to a Facebook group, and she was able to take him yesterday, so that's been really nice. And since then it's been a little bit calmer here. You can see they're all kind of lining up. I think they think I'm supposed to have treats for them. But they don't mind the cold at all. Our little red stars, which are the youngest ones right here, the smallest ones, they have already started laying eggs despite the fact that it's fall time. Their particular breed lays in the fall and winter. Even if it's cold, there's only just a few days that they take off. They can lay over 300 eggs a year. So that's been pretty exciting. So we've been getting about a half a dozen a day from both coops, which we weren't expecting. So I still have 3 more birds in this first coop that will be laying. Hopefully sometime soon they'll start up. The weather's been nice and cool, but it's not been so cold that they've had a hard time laying. So I'm really hopeful in the next few weeks that we'll start getting some from them too. And I think our older birds will probably be holding off till the spring. So we'll just have to wait and see on those. But the little red stars are eager to definitely to lay eggs. The sun is super bright today, so I'm very sorry if this is all washed out, if this video is washed out. I'll walk over and give you an update on these little girls. This has been the most exciting adventure with these little girls. We bought these chickens from a family who decided to sell their home and move into an RV. And so they lived in Indianapolis. These are our city girls. And they are so incredibly friendly and such productive egg layers. And they absolutely love treats. They love tomatoes, and they love cabbage and all the things, the sunflower seeds. They just love it, and they like to be held. And my kids are starting to work on, I think it's this one right here, this little brown one. None of these birds have names. They did before they came to us, but since they all look similar, we don't have any names for them, which is okay. But they are beautiful and they're fun to watch. And oftentimes I'll come out here in the morning and all the coops are locked up and they are having conversations with the other chickens in the other coop, which is really funny. I kind of feel like I'm interrupting to wake them up in the morning, which is so great. So they're happy and healthy and they've been doing great, and they survived the predator attack and got right to work laying eggs as soon as we got them back in the coop. So I was very surprised that they weren't stressed at all. Donnie and I reinforced their run. So you can see we have a covered tarp over this, and just on this end so that they have a little bit of shade in the afternoon. The moat has worked out really good for both coops. Guess it's been almost 5 months now that we've had the moats, and the moat on coop 1 worked out really good, except for red stars like to fly. So if you have red stars or ISA browns, that's another name for them, they really love to roost and to fly. Some of the other breeds don't necessarily do that, and so that was a little bit of a challenge for us because we kept having birds up on top of our moat fence, which is about 5 foot tall. So I'm gonna walk over here and show you what we did with this. So right here, we took a bunch of larger chicken wire, and we have covered the entire top part of just coop 1's moat because they have a red star in here. They actually have 7, and these little girls love to come all the way down by the road and sit on the very edge of that fence on the pole. So we would come home and there would always be a chicken up there on the fence, and we'd have to push it back down. And so we put this wire up here just to protect them and keep them safe, and give us some predator protection, because it so far has not allowed predators in, especially the hawks, which we have a lot of hawks around here. And that has worked really great. But when the chickens are sitting on top of the fence, it's not helpful. So we feel like we sucked away most of their joy by putting this fence on top. So Donnie put some 2x2s running through this fence right here to allow them to roost up here so they could be up high, and they absolutely love it. And oftentimes all 10 of them are up here right now. Yep, you can see all the little ones are starting to gather around. They don't like the babies to be higher than they are, but these little girls love being up high. Good morning. So now they're all going to start flying up here one by one, because that's just what they do. And so we'll come out in the morning and they will be all up here having a little gathering. But we thought that would also help as the ground gets colder, that they can get their feet up off the ground and have a chance to warm up a little bit too, just by sitting on the roost, because the sun comes in and shines on this, so all the ice will melt off these wood roosts before they have a chance to come over here. So that's been a really good change, a really good helpful thing for us to do with these moats. overall, it's been working just great. We really love it. Let's see, another thing that has been really helpful for the winter, as we've been working through all these efficiency situations, is these new water tanks. So I was having to carry, I guess it was a 3-gallon water, almost, I don't know, 200 feet to our water spigot and back full. And that is really hard when you have broken a back and you're struggling and trying to take care of those situations. You know, you're trying to haul the water and do all the things. And so Donnie and I were trying to work through, okay, how do we get this done? And when it's really cold in the winter, I don't want my hands to be stuck to the gate because I'm wet, which we've also experienced that already. So we came up with this watering system, which, let me see if I can back up here. It's just a rain barrel. It's a 30-gallon rain barrel, and it has a hose attachment, and it runs in, which this is going to be kind of hard to tell, and I will walk into the other coop and show you. Let's see. It has a hose attachment that leads into a 5-gallon bucket with a float valve. So it's kind of like a toilet tank. So as the water goes into the 5-gallon bucket, it automatically fills up these little cups and it keeps that bucket full. So they have access to about 30 gallons of water anytime that they want it, which is really great. So I only have, actually I haven't filled up the water at all in a month. And we recently had a, I don't know, maybe last week we had an issue with something related to the water, and we had to drain out that rain barrel, and we've only had maybe a 1/2 inch to 1 inch of rain this past month. It's been very dry here, and that water container was incredibly full. So we had probably about 36 gallons of water that the birds had access to, which was really nice. So we haven't really noticed too much trouble with that getting froze over. The little cups on the chicken waters did freeze over, but the rain barrel itself did not, which was really nice. I'm gonna walk in here and see if, hello. I'm gonna see if I can show you a better look at what that looks like. So their water's a little bit cleaner in here. It's not always clean in a chicken coop ever. So this is kind of what the inside of it looks like, where we have the water hose that's coming through. There's a float valve inside of this lid, which is kind of hard to take off, so I'm not going to do that right now. But I'll try to show a video of what that looks like later. But there's actually, it's just a really small box, and it's just a little valve that opens and shuts. So as the water level gets down, the rain barrel water comes in and continues to flow. The 5-gallon bucket has these little watering cups at the bottom, so it just automatically releases out of there. We've preferred these to like the nipple waters and some of the other like the bowls that just have the water container around in a big circle. Those tended to get filled up with straw and just other nastiness, and they're heavy, and there was no way for us to do a continual feeding of the water into the container, so I was constantly having to lift. So this solution has really helped, having just the watering, the rain barrel on a stand. The 5-gallon water we actually have, I don't know if I can show this to you, but there's actually pavers underneath of here. There they are. There's pavers underneath of here. So we just have it standing up just a little to help the chickens be able to get access to the water, because they have it's harder for them to drink when it's on the ground. So that system has worked out really good for us. And so this has been over a month. I've not had to clean it or change it. We occasionally have to, like if it frosts outside, I will bring a hot water jug out here, and we will pour the hot water into the little orange cups and then just pull the ice cubes out. And once we pull the ice balls out, the water will flow down. If we live in southern Indiana, it's not quite as cold as it is farther up north. So you might have situations where your 5-gallon water bucket freezes. I've seen the discs that you can drop in to your water container that are heated, so that way you can plug them up and allow the containers to stay heated throughout the winter time. We haven't done that with these yet because it really we haven't had a need. So we kind of are just testing everything out. Obviously this is our first year with winter chicken raising, so we're just learning kind of as we go. And right now I have a little kitten trying to get in here. The other update that I think I haven't talked about in a little while is this chicken feeder. So this is our chicken box. And I have a little girl here who wants to be in the video. This box has been so great. We just filled it up for the first time the other day, and you can kind of see there's an opening on each end, and then 2 on each side. And it has, let's see if I can open this here while they're all in here together. So this holds an entire bag of feed for them, which they're on layer feed right now, layer pellets. This has helped so much to reduce the waste of the food. There is a lot of times I have seen people use these automatic feeders and most of the food is on the ground. I have not experienced that in 1 month with our chickens. We have a total of 21 chickens, and we have lost very little feed. So we buy 2 bags of feed a month, and each container for each coop holds 1 bag of feed, and it's worked out just fine. We have very little on the ground, and coop 1, whatever's on the ground, the rooster eats. So he can fit his head into these little holes, but the hens will often scrape some out in order for him to get some on the ground. So he takes advantage of that too, which is really nice. But each of these little feeders, the little cups, have a cap that will fit over the top of this. So if we do have an issue with mice or anything like that, we can actually just cap that off, and that will stop them from getting in. So far, our new baby kittens that we got this summer have been doing a fantastic job at catching mice. And so we're really excited about that because we have had an increase of mice, but we also have an increase of cats. So thank you, God, for working all that out for our good. I'm gonna walk out here and give you a little kitten update too, because I haven't posted pictures of them in a long time. And Tiger is sitting right out here waiting for these chickens. Let's see if I can get out with these ladies by the door and keep the kitten out while I'm coming. So our kittens, Tiger and Buttons, just actually got fixed yesterday. So he's still kind of hanging out and recovering and stuff, but he's doing so good. These are such good, sweet babies. Hi, buddy. Hi. He is now 6 months old, and he is just doing great. He wants to come smell the camera since it's been around the chickens. But we're really happy to have them here and to just have them catching mice. They're learning a lot from my older cat, Oliver, who is a tabby, and he is 8, and he's a very good hunter. Very, very good. And so they have spent a lot of time with him. Surprisingly, he has let them spend time with him, and he's taught them a lot of things already about hunting. And so it's really hard, we know, when people are like, I really want to have chickens, but I don't want to deal with the dirtiness. I don't want to deal with the mice or the rats. You're going to have that stuff. It all comes with the territory of, you know, just owning livestock and owning pets. Or, yeah, just pets. Some people do have chickens and pets. I heard a story the other day about a lady who wanted to keep a chicken in her house. So she put a chicken diaper on it, and it just, everybody was like, what in the world? What's a chicken diaper? And she had recycled her old masks and used that as a chicken diaper for this bird. I think that's a little over the top for me, but that's okay. People have their ways of doing stuff. So this area right here, I want to give you a little a heads up on our barn renovation. This is a big hot mess, but my husband has spent probably the last week cleaning out this old barn. You can see the loft is really sagging. We have an amazing neighbor who is going to come and help us get this loft jack backed up, and the new baby chicks are going to be in here. This will be their new home. So back, Lucy. So my dogs are on an electric fence, so we don't want them getting shocked while we're in here on camera. So this is, oh, back, come on. So this is our new chicken area. We are going to turn this little back spot of land inside this barn, this little area, into a winter chicken brooder. So if we do this again in the future, we can hopefully safely have a heat lamp in here, since the walls are cinder block and stuff, and we're not having so much hay and other things that are flammable to worry about burning down our coops and stuff. We had toyed with the idea of putting them in coop 2 with the new birds. Kind of the hemming and hawing is that those coops are made all out of wood, and I was just very, very hesitant to put those heat lamps in that coop in the small space. So both of those are 4 foot by 8 foot. This space back here, we're gonna have an 8 by 8 foot. So we feel like that's enough space for them to have a place to roost and to run around as they get bigger, because they will not move to coop 2 until they're ready to be on layer feed. And that happens around 6 months, whenever they're ready to start laying. So then we will introduce them to the new birds, and they will move outside to their new home at that point in time. So hopefully all of this has to happen before December 1. This barn is very, very old, and we have not done anything to it in the 8 years that we've lived here. Probably maybe 20 years before that, nobody had ever used it. So it has been just really run down, and we're excited at the possibility of what to do in this space once we get it all cleaned out, and get it graveled and get the loft repaired where everybody can go up and down the stairs. We'll have extra storage for garden supplies and tools in here, as well as everything to do with the chickens, because the chicken coops are literally right through that sliding door. So it'll make it really nice. I look forward to updating you guys on this as we go, because it's going to be a big process. So I'm excited, and I'm going to let you all go. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. It's been great. This has been a good month, and God is still blessing, and we're just seeing so many good things happening here. We're excited about prepping for next year. It's just going to be wonderful. We've just seen so many things. We will be offering popcorn and eggs next spring to sell, and I do have samples for people. If you would like to have a sample, you can feel free to email me or message me on Facebook. Our Facebook page, please like it and share it. It's helping to get the word out, and I absolutely love talking to you all about your chickens and things that you're doing. I'm not anywhere else online, no Instagram or Twitter, just Facebook for now, and YouTube. So you're welcome to share this video with your friends and family, and I look forward to talking to you again. Bye.